When doing user forms with VBA, there's often a struggle on how to show a user form but without showing an Excel workbook behind it. This is usually for VBA developers who want to give a bit better experience to the users, and it's just nicer for the user not to see the Excel sheet. I have seen a lot of suggestions about doing application.visible equals false, and of course it works, but in my personal opinion it's not a good choice because it hides the entire Excel workbook, and that could be a problem when you're closing your workbook. You have always to watch out for that state of visible. You have to turn it back on to true. And also another problem is if a user opens another workbook while using your form, that workbook will be hidden because you're setting application for an entire Excel object. That's why I came up with another solution that it's extremely simple. It's been with me for years now, and it never fails. So what we have here, I have set up a simple macro-enabled workbook with the main form. This main form is just a dummy form, and with the code behind, there's nothing behind it. In this workbook event, we have a main form that show modeless. So basically, when we run this, it will show the form, and this is the sheet behind it, and that's what we want to hide. So the solution I'll show you is basically real simple. We are not hiding the sheet, we are just resizing it. So we are going to resize the sheet so it can be small, and we are going to put it behind the user form. So basically you will get this. The sheet is behind the user form, it's not visible, but every time the user form moves, the sheet will follow it. So basically you will not see the sheet, and you are not messing around with the Excel object. So how do we do that? It's rather simple. In the user form, we are going to go to the code behind, and we are going to go and use the event of a layout. So the layout event triggers every time you change, you move around with the user form. And what we are going to do, we are going to use the application.Windows. Basically, we are using this workbook name, and we are going to set its Windows state to be normal, so we can resize it. We're going to put the height of, let's say, 50. Basically, any height will do. Of course, it has to be small, but it all depends about your user form, how large it is. And for the top, so for the screen location top, we are going to do user form top. So we are going to do the location of the user form plus 50. You can put plus 50 or any number, but it all depends again how large is your user form. But this extra 50 number is going to set the sheet to be inside the user form. And all we have to do is put left as well, and that's it. Now if we run the user form, you can see we have the user form and there is no Excel sheet visible behind it. Why? Because, as I said, the sheet is now behind the user form and it's following the user form. We can test that out. So basically, if I comment out the top and left, as you can see, when I move the user form, you can see the sheet is behind it. Okay, so if I turn it back on, as soon as I move it, the sheet goes behind. That's it. I hope you like this tip. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.